Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Comics and Coffee. I was gonna say afternoon because we normally do it in the afternoon,
Yeah, it's the early day for us.
but it's 9:35 in the morning on Thursday. So
Oh, I see it now.
yeah.
Nice.
See, normally
Actually,
that's
I
how
got
you
it.
read
I got
clocks.
it. Mine is usually at the bottom. So
Well, you probably have an old computer. It's
no,
fine.
it's pretty new.
It's all right. All right. So, let me tell you something real quick.
Okay.
Last night after I was watching Arrow.
Okay.
By the way, we're at Starbucks. So, yeah. After watching Arrow last night, right? I was
Mhm.
watching another TV show
Mhm.
that had, it was raining, right? Like thunderstorms and all that stuff.
On the show or in real
On the
life?
show,
Okay.
right? And, I'm like, wow, this is pretty good TV because it was like almost like surround sound.
Yeah.
But after, when it like went to commercial,
Mhm.
I didn't realize it was actually raining outside.
So I kind of spoiled the story before it even
Kind
got
of.
there. Oh, I'm sorry.
But I thought to myself, I was like, wow, this TV is really awesome. It's got really good sound.
I never
Not
installed
knowing that it's actually raining and thunderstorming outside.
that. Yeah.
That's how attuned I was
Well,
in.
It would have been good to enjoy that for the whole episode and not realize until after you were done with the
It
show.
was almost like a whole episode.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is a really awesome TV. I'm glad I bought this a long time ago.
What show were you watching?
I don't know. I know it wasn't Arrow. It was something else, but it was. Oh, it was Broad Street or Broad City
Oh,
on Comedy
wait.
Central,
All right.
and it was like, I guess it was one when there was like that storm that New York had, that rainstorm, that horrible rainstorm they had,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm just thinking, this is really good,
Nice.
not realizing that it's storming outside.
I've yet to experience that. Usually the storm knocks my TV out and ruins it completely.
How
So
old
you're
is
lucky.
How old is your TV?
Oh, this is, I don't know. It's not flat. It's still
the
a huge box.
okay,
There's a knob that you have to turn it
Right.
like an oven knob.
Right.
to get
Right.
And then you have to.
right,
Just-
yeah, the rabbit ear.
It's fairly new. I think
Okay.
it's new.
Fairly new. All right, did you get a good deal on it?
I did. It was only $2,000.
Only $2,000.
Yeah, 26-inch screen.
20-inch screen.
Yeah.
When you could go probably to Best Buy now and
Uh,
get like a 32-inch flat screen
I don't do the corporate
for
stuff.
$200.
It's all a scam. It's all
$200 as opposed to $2,000.
$2,000 for a 26-inch. It's full box. It's actually deeper than it is wide or tall. It's got a whole back to it.
Are we're not really like in the 2004 kind of technology.
No,
are we?
I'm like 86, 87. It's vintage, but it's up to date.
You're kind of
Yes.
like me with cars. Where
Well, I'm like that with cars too.
well, I mean, I've had a 99 Cavalier.
Nice.
I've
What
had-
year was that you had it?
I got that. That was my first car. So I got a 99. No, in 2003.
Nice.
So I still had to, still roll down the windows.
Yes, my first car was one of those. You had to reach over to the passenger side.
Yeah. My second car was a Honda. It was a 98. But it had automatic windows. So I was moving up in the world.
Nice.
Now I have a 96 Acura Integra.
What? Are you going to move into the new millennium soon?
I
I guess it's not new
well,
anymore. But
Usually, new Millennium cars kind of cost a lot of money. So, if we ever tend to get rich off of this,
yeah.
then yeah. But right now, I'm still kind of, not really
Not
making
there yet.
not making a lot of money. I'm making some money, but not making a lot. So,
So
all right.
next week on Coffee and Cars,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about.
No, but have you ever seen that show of Jerry Seinfeld? Comedians in cars getting
Yes, I only saw the Kramer episode, which was great.
coffee? Right.
But I don't know. I haven't. I can't
There's
compare.
other ones.
I imagine there was, but that's the only one I saw.
No, they're pretty good. They're pretty awesome.
Who else has he had on there?
He's had Louis C.K. on there.
I
He's
love
had,
Louis
who else has he had? Oh, he's had, Sarah Silverman, David Letterman,
Nice. I gotta check the show out.
Larry
more
David.
All right, hold on. What is it? I've seen it before.
Comedians.
Comedians in cars.
In cars, getting coffee. Always had Ricky Gervais.
That's a pretty good. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop doing this show and try to get on that show because that sounds amazing.
First of all, do you live in New York?
I don't.
Are you a famous comedian?
I'm not.
Well, then good luck trying to get on there.
I will.
All right. Now,
Until then.
till then, explain to us. We have a new system.
Oh yeah.
Explain to us what this is for.
Okay, so most people would just do this with editing,
Right.
But we're not going to. We're
Okay.
handsy.
Yes.
So spoiler zone basically means that we're gonna spoil whatever show you may currently be into, and of course Arrow. This is
Right.
what we're gonna talk about. And
Right.
then there's another side that says Agents of Shield, Walking Dead, and if there's another show that we're gonna spoil on a regular basis,
Right.
I'll make some more signs for that. So when this appears,
Right.
fast forward through it if you don't want to be spoiled.
Or turn your volume down so
Yeah.
you can't hear it.
And then when the sign goes down, it's
Right.
it's
Then,
safe
then
again.
turn your volume up.
Is it safe?
It's safe. Okay. So today we're going to talk about. Obviously, we're going to talk about Arrow because that was last night. We're going to talk about Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Walking Dead,
Yeah.
and also talk about the new trailer for Batman's video game.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you need to talk about?
I think after saying those things, I don't think there's anything else in life that needs to be
Nothing.
discussed.
Nothing from the
Scattered
comic book?
Comics
Yeah.
is still going good.
Okay.
Issue 2 of Hybrid Earth is coming along really awesomely.
That's good.
I haven't actually met with them this week, so I don't know what's the recent scoop.
All right.
But you will be updated as I will.
All right. And as always, we thank our sponsor, scattercomicbooks.com. For
And Empire Comics.
yes, and Empire Comic Books for supporting this lovely little podcast, videocast thing.
Yeah.
That
I don't know. I keep saying block, but I realize
I
it's not
do
a block,
too.
is it?
It's not. Well, I mean, it's a semi-blog.
Podcast or I don't know. Whatever.
Well, it's not. I don't know. Well, it's a thing.
Can we come up with a name for it so that
Yes.
next time I refer to it, it makes sense?
It's a thing. Let's just call it a thing right now. Because that's what I call when I give my business cards out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't call it a company because I mean, Short Nerdy Guy is like, it's a brand, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not really, I don't have a lot of things going on with it. I
You
just
need a
have,
logo.
I have a
I'll work
logo.
on your logo. You
I have a logo on the cards.
All right.
It's just, I don't really call it a business yet.
We'll call that a thing too.
Yeah. It's just something that I like going by and want to get out there,
Yeah.
basically. So,
Absolutely.
all right. Now, since we're going to, all right, and what are we drawing today?
Can it be a surprise?
Okay, it's a surprise.
It'll be a surprise. I did literally start it right when you started the video.
Right, right. You didn't do this.
Didn't pre-map it out. No, I didn't
This
do that.
and like, oh look, amazing
The
drawing.
magic trick. No.
Okay. All right. So now, first spoil zone is Arrow.
All right.
Now, what?
Wait, no, you gotta leave it up because
Oh,
we're talking
okay.
about
Oh,
it.
sorry. My bad. Apologies.
Can you focus with it right there?
I can. Yeah, I can focus. Why are you smelling?
I don't know if I can focus while it's right there.
Are you
I can focus.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
You want to smell it anymore?
I'm good now.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. So, give me your overall synopsis about it, and then
Overall synopsis.
we'll dig into it.
Slade comes back and raises hell, but very quietly and subtly.
Right.
Basically, he sets up that he will raise hell.
Right.
And then we get to see what we already know from the past,
Mhm.
that somehow Slade is going to find out that Oliver's responsible for the death of Shadow. It's going to be a crazy thing.
Right.
And yeah, that just happened. We got introduced to Team Arrow officially.
Okay.
We got a sneak preview of Red Arrow. I really want to talk about the trailer next episode, but we'll stay here.
Okay. Well, my overall synopsis was it was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
What is it ever not?
Well, it's just I don't know. Here's what I don't get. I don't understand how a small cable is CW a cable channel or is it like
I
network?
don't know.
If it's a network, then I don't understand how a network channel
Mm-hmm.
can produce such a great superhero show without it actually just being like you don't know you're watching a superhero show, but at the same time you know you're watching a superhero show.
I've got the answer to that, and it's also the answer to the question you asked last week, which was what would make me stop watching Arrow.
Okay.
The answer is it takes itself completely seriously.
Right.
Every new nerdy element that they introduce on the show, they take time to explain it in the real world.
But no, see, I understand that. That's what makes it great.
And I think that's what would make me stop watching it.
Right. What is if they took it too seriously?
If they stopped taking it seriously and made it a fanboy bust fest.
You mean like in Young Justice where they had like a core group of characters, and then next episode, all of a sudden there's so many
just got away.
sidekicks.
And not only that, but if it's if we're not going to take the time to really get to know each character, right now I'm kind of itching for some more Diggle exposure because we've introduced Roy, we've introduced Sarah, everybody's got their little dynamic.
Right.
I think we need to bring Diggle back to the forefront. That's what I'm excited
That's why Suicide Squad's going to happen next week.
Yes.
But what I was trying to get is that how come DC can make these amazing shows but can't get their shit together and make amazing movies?
Because I think they got some catching up to do with the movies. There's always going to be that pressure of, wow, Marvel is already
but if you have that pressure, how are you making amazing TV show? And yet, why don't you take that?
Well, you think about the schedule that it would take to film this show. They could film in almost an entire season in the time that it would take to film one movie.
I'm just saying, if you took the amount of effort that you put into Arrow or The Flash or Smallville or whatever other show you're going to make and put that effort of that stuff into the Batman Superman movie and stop having so many rumors about other heroes in the same movie.
Yeah.
Because first of all, it's supposed to just be a sequel to Superman. Was it awesome that I heard Batman was going to be in? Of course.
Yes.
But then when you go, hey, we're also going to bring in Wonder Woman. We're going to bring in Aquaman. We're going to bring in Lex Luthor. We're going to bring in Nightwing. We're going to bring in The Flash. We're going to bring in Martian Manhunter.
But it's not Justice League yet. Not yet. We're building up to Justice League.
Right. Let's give subtle hints.
Yeah.
Instead of let's throw all these people in and outdo Marvel in one movie.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
And I think that's what they're it seems like they're structuring for that.
Right. You can't do that. I'm sorry.
I bet they were halfway through production on Man of Steel before they realized, holy crap, we need to make a universe. Oh, well, let's just finish this movie and then we'll work it into the sequel. There was no initial Nick Fury shows up at the end.
Right.
We're part of a bigger universe.
Right.
Next movie. It's this movie had a definite end with, a lead into anything else to come. But it was there was no Batman lead in, no Justice League lead in. There was nothing there.
Yes.
So,
All right. But now, getting into the insides of Arrow, I do love how at the one point they showed Roy trying to start becoming Red Arrow.
Yeah.
Because they showed him
missing the target.
Right, and practicing with a bow. And Black Canary was like, you'll get better, don't worry. And it's
Oliver just makes it look easy.
Yeah, and it's that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
one of the things I've been waiting for.
Right. And also, you finally start to know why Oliver knows Russian and how he become all those things.
Where he could infiltrate into the family. And
stuff like that because of the guy that he saved.
Yeah.
Which makes total sense now. Also, I just love how it's just all going to come together.
One thing that left me kind of kind of worried of an inconsistency is when Oliver first meets Sarah back in present time.
Right.
She asks him, almost in a very concerned way, "Where's Slade?" Or whatever happened to Slade.
Right.
Almost to the point that you would think the last time she saw Slade, they were friendly.
Right, but
it didn't seem like wait, where's Slade? Is he still around? Is he still a problem?
No, because they think.
My friends?
I think is because Oliver, does the whole, shoots shoots him in the eye. Let's just put it out there.
We already know that.
We already know it's gonna happen. It shoots him in the eye and thinks that the arrow got all the way to his brain and thinks he's dead.
Yeah.
But he's not. That's what makes him Deathstroke.
But the last time that Sarah sees him had to be on that friendlier note.
Yeah.
And then she probably never saw Oliver again.
Well, because she disappeared, remember. They'll probably explain it more.
Where it bothers me is knowing that we probably have 3 more years of island stuff to cover.
I don't think so.
You don't think they're going to do it in real time like that?
I don't think they're going to do 3 years. I think they're just going to do, like, show him more leveled up, you know?
Okay.
Because you can't really...
Oh, that's another thing that happened this episode. Oliver puts on the hood for the first time on the island flashbacks, is a running marksman in the flashbacks.
But the hood never really stays on.
And he does admit these trees don't move and they don't fire back.
Right.
So we know he's still got a ways to go, but he couldn't do that.
Yeah, they're showing him
That's
upgrade.
progression.
So, all right, now, let's go... How do you do this?
All right, what are we doing now?
Shield.
Shield?
Yeah.
All right, give us a sec.
Okay.
So, Shield, did you have any, I guess we should just do this before I start.
Shield was pretty awesome. I love how Shield is starting to incorporate more superhero aspects.
Yeah.
Like finding out because I can't remember the girl that plays Sith.
Oh.
Her last name is Alexander.
On what? Who were we talking about?
The girl that plays Sith, Lady Sith. No, you don't know who Lady Sith is? Thor. Woman. Sword.
She was in Thor, the movie?
Yes. She was part of Thor's...
Laura Lee? No. That's who they brought in at the end of this episode.
I'm talking about Lady Sith.
That's the one that was supposed to be Wonder Woman. That they had originally rumored was going to be Wonder Woman.
Right.
Yeah.
Her real last name is Alexander. I don't know her first name.
All right.
But I heard her on Nerd's podcast 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty cool. But she was explaining that, that's how she's going to be on the next episode, and that the what was the woman's name from the end of the episode?
Laura Lee, something like
shows
that.
up.
Is that Enchantress?
I believe so. Shows up, and that's when Lady Sith is going to come.
She's going to follow.
Right.
Okay.
Which is great because, S.H.I.E.L.D. has had its up and downs, because of, reruns in the first season.
Yeah.
But now that I think it's getting better because they're actually putting more, like...
They're getting into the world of all the things that S.H.I.E.L.D. should be exposed to. All the things that they've been putting off, that all the fans have been like, wait a minute, I want to see this. We're starting to see this.
Right. Because I think Joss Whedon is pretty amazing where he'll tease you with things you should see in the beginning.
Like then, season 1 of Dollhouse.
And then, then wean off. And then just, flood you with a whole bunch of stuff you should have seen in the last...
season 2 of Dollhouse.
Right. So, seeing Fury and seeing the girl... I can't remember the girl's age.
Maria Hill.
Yeah, seeing Maria Hill and Nick Fury, seeing them in the beginning, and then not seeing anyone for, 4 or 5 episodes?
10 episodes.
And then now seeing,
we introduced Deathlock.
Seeing Deathlock, Lady Sith, and maybe a whole bunch of other people showing up.
Yeah.
Is pretty genius.
Yeah.
But overall, the show is getting really good because now Coulson knows what happened to him, and
what was that thing? When he found that torso, who was that?
Two things. I either think that's Coulson. That's Coulson's real body.
That's Coulson's body.
That's Coulson's real body.
Okay.
Or that's a Chitauri, and that's where everyone is getting their powers. The Avengers.
Yeah.
The aliens.
I know. I'm just trying to remember if it looked like it looked to me. It looked
was
like
blue.
Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen. That's what I saw.
Yeah, but that's a DC character.
I know, but I'm saying that's what it looked like to me. It didn't look like a Chitauri. It didn't look like a...
Right.
So I'm trying to think who in the Marvel Universe could that
blue?
have been?
Because his body's blue.
Was he blue?
Yeah, his body was blue.
Okay.
But I don't know. I had to rewind that a couple times.
I'll probably watch it
to
again
see
when I go home.
what that really is.
Yeah. It was awesome though.
Yeah, it's good.
You know what? The whole, Coulson died,
Right.
and we found a place that brought him back to life.
Right.
I didn't think that's the route that we were going to go with Sky.
Right.
I thought we were going to go with the whole setup of she was an object of unknown origin. She had powers. Even as a baby, we could see she had powers. So maybe getting shot in the stomach 2 times would just be something that she would naturally recover from because we don't even know what kind of powers she has.
Right.
We know they're there, and I hope they don't stretch it out the way they did with Coulson. We're like, sit through most of a season before we start even touching on it.
Let's hope it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
Overall,
I liked it. I'm getting into it a lot more.
okay.
And unlike Arrow, it's one of those shows that can go completely campy
Right.
and not really lose the essence of what makes it cool.
Right. That's true. That is true. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
A lot of people are just thinking that Guardians is not going to be that good because they don't know the characters very well, and it's not like intertwining with the Avengers or anything like that. Au contraire, this movie is going to be amazing
Yeah, I think so.
because in its own Marvel kind of universe,
Mhm.
it has awesome characters. If you're a fan, this is how I explain Gokaiger Power Rangers
Okay.
to people here that haven't seen it yet. If you're a fan of Firefly,
Nathan Fillion?
well, not just they. I'm
I'm
saying the
saying
whole.
that Firefly?
Yes,
Okay.
if you're a fan of that whole concept of like people with different sort of skills
Mm-hmm.
leaving their planet because nothing's
Yeah.
everything's shitty,
Yeah.
and they're getting on a ship and they're going to find like this mass grand treasure or get away from their planet,
Yeah.
escape.
So they're not heroes. They have very
They're-
petty
yes.
ideas in mind.
They're anti-heroes in a sense of
Yeah.
where if shit's going down,
They
they'll
have to choose a
they'll
side.
help the people because they know what they're going through.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they'll still
They're not in it to set things right.
They're either space pirates or space cowboys, and their initial thing is to be out for themselves,
Yeah.
not for other people, not
Very
for the
Han
greater.
Solo-esque.
Yeah, not for the greater humanity kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
I always dig that.
and the Guardians, that's what this kind of is it's a whole bunch of people just getting together, having their differences, fighting with each other, and then realizing that, hey, we should stop fighting with each other and maybe start working together
Yeah.
for this one common goal. And then once we reach this goal, we'll all split off and go our separate ways. Kind of thing.
And there's a raccoon in a walking, talking tree.
Right. Which, by the way, Marvel's got before DC's got a Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of shows you where DC is in the movie universe.
Where Marvel is in the universe. Marvel is about to bust this shit open.
Right. And then I hear that there's going to be a teaser for Nova in that movie.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
I know.
Did you hear the Doctor Strange rumors?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. He seems pretty good. But, we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see more about Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Because I think Marvel's concentrating on, like, so many other characters right now.
I might have to be rude for a second.
Okay, hang on.
Hello?
I think Marvel is concentrating on more superheroes, more like
All right.
second tier, not second tier, but more better superheroes that are, they have too many going on. They have the whole Daredevil, they have Iron Fist, they have, who else they have? Blade. They're doing all of those series over again, but those are going on Netflix. They have, they also, well, let's see. Oh yeah, they have Guardians of the Galaxy universe they're working on. They have Cap's universe they're working on. Just a whole slew of just like awesome Marvel stuff that's going on that they're just like working towards and throwing in and everything. To where,
Sorry about that.
it's okay. I was just talking about how I think Marvel is so in tune with getting a whole bunch of stuff out in
Yeah.
different social media, in different medias.
Yeah.
Because they have the movie universe, and then now they're gonna have the Netflix universe.
Yes, with the Defenders.
Right.
Nice.
They're gonna have and so I think with seeing like second tier characters, like they'll have hints of the second tier characters, but they're just that's kind of saying, hey guys, we're working on these right now. We'll give you subtle hints, but we're not ignoring them completely.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's what I was trying to get at when you were on the phone.
Sorry.
It's alright.
I think you know what I really like though is that in the beginning it kind of seemed like Marvel was only just working with what they had left.
Right.
Because if they had access to all of their characters, Spider-Man and X-Men would have been the two first things we would have seen.
Right.
But it's like, okay, now what do we have left over? All these other characters that nobody's really crazy about. But now all of a sudden, Iron Man is on everything. Iron Man is probably one of the most popular characters, whereas not even 8-9 years ago, nobody cared about Iron Man.
Right.
Like, nobody was into that. So I honestly believe they can throw whatever they want as long as they take it seriously the way they have been. I think it's going to be...
Yeah, a little serious, a little comedic.
Yeah, make
it
it
little
fun for everybody.
Right.
But we're taking the approach of it seriously.
Right. Which one of the comic book creators have always said is that Marvel doesn't put superheroes in real world situations.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel puts real world situations in just comic books, kind of thing.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
I don't know if I do completely.
Well, let's take Captain America to the new movie for Captain America, right? Where he's way out of his element, right? Governments are more now for like let's intimidate and scare people to where they won't do
and Watchdog.
Right, they won't do that big thing that they're planning.
Yeah.
Instead of and that's what Cap is like trying to say to people is like this is not freedom.
Yeah.
This is fear.
Yeah.
And so that's why Cap is struggling with not trusting people with,
so it's not like Captain America saves a bunch of people from 9/11.
Right.
But it's like, okay, what's
9/11 happened. What can Captain America do to help?
How's he going to respond to it?
Right.
How's he going to...
Right.
Okay.
That kind of. Whereas DC does that, where 9/11 is about to happen, so let's get the Justice League together and stop it before it happens.
Yeah.
That's not, they can't, that's not really, that's not good for a story because, that's not how the Justice League works.
Yeah.
Justice League doesn't, necessarily Justice League doesn't prevent stuff from happening, not all the time, but that's just in the comic books because it's a comic book and nothing's really real.
Yeah.
So when Marvel takes a real situation like 9/11, I think the Avengers would be more tuned to be like, okay, let's see what we can do from further destruction.
Okay.
Let's get everyone out of the second tower before it collapses, kind of.
Versus Superman, where it's like, let's destroy this entire block.
Right.
And then fly out to the rural area and destroy that entire town.
Right.
And then I'll snap your neck in the subway station.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had the moment in my head and I was like,
what? It's alright. Alright. Now, let's go talk to Walking Dead. Because Walking Dead is getting... I don't know if that show could ever be bad.
How do you feel? Okay, alright. That kind of answer. I was going to say, how do you feel about this season in general?
I like the psychological part of it as much as I like the action part of it. Because you can't just, in a zombie apocalypse show, you can't just having a whole bunch of action in every episode and be like, well, we killed those zombies today.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. There's got to be there's got to be a mixture of like, one season there'll be action, one season there'll be psychological and emotional damage and fixing. And then, there will be one season where there's action and psychological kind of damage and stuff. So, it's just great how that mixes together sometimes.
I think at this point in the story, being 4 seasons in,
Right.
I don't really need slow episodes anymore. I think season 1, it totally made sense because you're trying to get this audience member to just really accept what's happening. By season 4, you got to be with it. You can't have no dumb characters that we got to explain that you got to shoot them in the head. Like, if you don't know that by now, how are you still alive on this show?
Right.
But I really think with this last season, I don't think they've had an episode yet where I've just been like, you know what I mean? Like, every episode has moved around really quickly. What do you think of focusing an episode on only 2 characters?
I think it's good because it shows, number one, it shows what happened in the past season, what damage it did to them psychologically and emotionally.
Yeah.
While they were just holding it in that whole time, trying to escape and not die.
With Daryl.
Right, and then they find a place where they can settle down and just decompress for a moment. And
just a moment.
Yeah, and you see what happens when they decompress. You see Daryl just go
lose his shit.
Yeah, because he's never been able to make decisions for himself. Yeah. He's never going, oh well, I'm gonna go do this, and then I'm gonna do this and this, and then I'll be done. Yeah. He's never been able to do that because his brothers always told him to, no, let's do this, and we're gonna do this.
Brother.
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
So,
then,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, do you think that's gonna create any tension once he and Rick are reunited?
No.
You don't think it's gonna cause any?
No, because Rick wasn't really telling him, hey, this is what needs to be done. No, Rick was like, listen, we need to protect the people.
Yeah.
And
he
help the people. Right. Not like, hey, go do this because I'm going to go do this.
Yeah.
Not like that. Now to see the girl kind of she's never had a drink before and wanting to get that drink, it's kind of a big, when the zombie apocalypse happens and the stuff that we take for granted all the time, all of a sudden, those things are like big milestones because, the world's kind of broken.
Yeah.
And so the small little things that we take for granted are now like big milestones.
Complete opportunity that's just, you don't even get to experience.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she hadn't had a chance to decompress. Her father dying right in front of her losing her sister.
And they actually mentioned her brother.
Right.
Which always bothered me that he never really came up. It's like, yes, he wasn't a character on the show, but in this being real life, it was her brother.
Right.
It was bound to, it should have come up sometime before now. But back to, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but I just love how it is that way.
Yeah.
Where they had a minute to decompress. She had a chance to have a drink.
Yeah.
Daryl had a chance to just
realize he's not fun all the time.
Right. And that he needs, he's realizing who he really is now and how he can make his own decisions and everything.
And he's not the guy to drink with. Ever.
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure if you're, again, in a zombie
she was
apartment,
kind of interrogating the crap out of him.
Right.
Playfully.
Right. So, if you've just lost someone that you care about two people.
Yeah.
And now you're on the run. I'm pretty sure you're going to go nuts if you get a little alcohol.
I think the thing that I really appreciated about episodes like this where they don't show any of the other group is it really makes it feel lonely when you're watching it. Because, there was a couple episodes back where everybody's still separated, but we jump from Tyrese to Rick to, whoever else they were talking about. But when there's an entire episode where we're only following Daryl and Beth, it's like, for all we know, everybody else could be dead. And there's no dramatic irony where the audience knows, oh, Tyrese is cool. It's like, no, they could be dead because we're not showing you anything. So I don't know. I think that works pretty nicely.
I think it does too.
Yeah,
all right.
How many episodes are we till the end?
I have no idea. I think it stops in April. Because then it'll pick up in October. It'll pick back up in October. So, I don't know. But, all I know is that TV is pretty amazing right now.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now let's get into the video game universe
All right.
as well as we should, because we're not just comics. I mean the name.
Coffee.
I mean the name is coffee, but we're not just. We don't just talk about comic books and TV shows. We talk about video games as well.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if you've already seen the new Arkham Knight trailer has arisen, and it is a pretty sick. It's pretty amazing.
It looks better than any Batman movie I've ever seen.
Thank you. Back to my original topic of why can't DC take all of this energy that they're putting into every other thing that they're making amazing and put it into a movie.
There's too many non-fans who are paying for the movies to happen, that are only thinking about the money and the return, and not about
But
the
how
people who are going to
how
be
are you
fans.
making another amazing Batman video game, but yet you cannot stop trying to put too many Batman characters into a Batman Superman movie?
I think with the video game, there's no desperation to compete with anybody. There is no other game that I enjoy as much as the Arkham series. There are other games, but there's no Marvel game that stands up to
That
the
is true.
Arkham games.
Touche.
There's- You know what I
Touche.
mean? There's
Touche.
nobody to compete with. They
Right.
can just do what they know works and keep building on it.
Right.
Whereas DC's got Marvel with the first place trophy waving it in their face. They're like, crap, what are we going to do now? We have to go bigger. We need Wonder Woman. We need Aquaman. You know what I mean?
That's not really what you should do, though.
I know that.
Look. I tend to talk about this a lot because I love Batman. I love Superman.
Yeah.
I love
Batman
I love the Justice League.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's as I get older and I try to, I want to, experience more the genres of comic books and stuff, which is great. But at the same time, hearing all this stuff about the movies and stuff, it's just like it's pushing me further and further away from my love for DC.
Just keep watching TV and animated movies.
I am.
And you won't be led astray.
No, I don't get me wrong. I still love DC because of the cartoons and the video games and the comic books. But at the same time, it's just like, come on.
If you want to make yourself feel better, just go back and look at retro DC movies. Look at Superman Returns. Look at Batman Returns. Look at Batman Forever. Batman and Robin. And you know what I mean? Like, you can make yourself feel better about the state of DC movies by looking back and seeing what they've progressed past. Like, you can look forward and speculate what's going to happen, but
Look.
we don't really know.
Batman's been great.
Yeah.
And then Batman and Robin happened.
I think even before that, I think
I love Batman Forever because Val Kilmer was good. He was kind of good. For that time, he was good. Because there was no TV shows out. There was no video games out.
the animated movie, the animated series.
The animated series, yes, but that was, I didn't think you could get any better than the animated series.
Yeah. Which
And
you probably still
And
can.
again, that was when I was younger and didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So after going back and watching all those, I'm like, what the shit is this?
Yeah, it's terrible.
And then seeing Batman Begins, and then seeing The Dark Knight, right? And then
The
seeing
best.
The Dark Knight Rises and go like, what happened?
Yeah, they were almost there, and
What
then they
happened?
dropped it in the last one.
And it's the same way with Superman. I love the cartoon. I love the Christopher Reeves. As a kid, I loved the Lois and Clark
Yeah,
series. But
it
then,
was okay considering we had nothing else.
well, it was okay for that time period.
Yeah,
And then when me and an associate and I wrote Superman Returns, when I saw Superman Returns, right? And again, I was like, what happened?
yeah.
Kind of thing. And then,
The coolest thing was a slow motion close up of his eyeball. That was the coolest thing
I think
in
the
movie.
coolest thing was when he was running down the street, ripped open it, and he saw the S, and he was he was saving the plane, and then he brought it down.
The plane was cool.
Yeah, and then you heard the song in the background and everyone cheering.
Yeah.
So that gets me chills.
Yeah.
But after that, it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? And
He
then,
had a bastard baby.
and then when me and an associate of mine were a great friend of mine, were like, listen, we need to make this Superman movie better. Let's write a script. And then we wrote a script called Man of Steel, but it didn't get picked up because there was a whole lot of things that I don't want to get into.
That ain't even going to get anywhere.
Right, I was.
They'll shut you down so fast.
Actually, we got pretty far.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to tell me about that later.
Yeah, we got pretty far, but something happened and it went down the poop hole. But at the same time, when I saw half of Man of Steel, I was like, this is great. And then at the ending, I'm just like, what happened?
He killed everyone in Metropolis. That's what happened.
I was like, granted, yeah, there was more action. He was flying. He was being Superman.
He fought the way Superman should fight in
Right.
the movie.
Right. But let's not destroy half of the city.
Yeah. Do everybody a favor. Take the fight out into the middle of the desert.
Right. Let's prevent city destruction. But again, I think at the same time they were leading up to this. I think they knew once they made Man of Steel that they were, we're making a sequel,
Yeah.
and it's gonna.
I think they knew that before the first word was written on the paper.
It's gonna prelude. It's gonna prelude to, what's gonna happen in the next sequel. That's why we were destroying the city, kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think to me, the whole Justice League setup, I get why it pisses people off, because basically all Man of Steel did was set up it was like Batman Begins. It set up the entire movie was like Act 1 of becoming Superman. Whereas the sequel is supposed to be, this is Clark Kent who works at the Daily Planet, and Lois knows who he is, but nobody else. Like, it seemed like that's what they were building us up to, and then instead of paying that off, we're going to pay off Justice League setup.
Right, but here's what I hope. I hope the big cliffhanger that they're supposedly saying for the end of Batman Superman is that they have Darkseid. I really hope it is, because if it isn't, Justice League is not going to do well.
So Darkseid has to be the common enemy.
Yes, because if you've seen Justice League War and you've seen all the other if you read all the Justice League comic books and everything, that's the main bad guy that brings the Justice League together.
Okay.
Have you seen Smallville? That's what brought everyone together, kind of thing.
Okay.
So if Darkseid is not the main bad guy that's going to bring the Justice League together.
Okay, let's say, is there a runner-up? Let's say absolutely we want to save Darkseid for the Justice League.
There is no runner-up.
Nobody even comes close.
No runner-up. Because you can't be like, Lex Luthor and the Joker team together.
Come on.
No. Because that's only
Superman.
You're only taking Superman. You're only making two heroes. You're only doing Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
So there is no other major bad guy that will bring that will bring. And you can't say the anti-Justice League either. You can't say Legion of Doom because why would you go?
The reason I think you need a Legion of Doom or something like that is so that in the last fight you can split up all of the heroes and each hero can take on a bad guy. So you can have, Flash fighting this guy and have that fight.
Legion of Doom has not been seen since
anywhere
as a cartoon.
Yeah,
it has not been seen or has not been done. It's been done as a cartoon.
Yeah,
because it did it in one of the Justice League cartoons, which was great.
Yeah,
where it had Vandal Savage and everything.
Yeah,
that was great. It was great in the 80s. It was great in the comic books. It was great as a 90s cartoon, two-parter kind of thing.
Okay.
But you cannot bring it real life.
Okay.
Because you haven't explained anything.
That would be a lot of information too.
Because all we know from real life movies is the Joker, the Penguin, Two-Face, Scarecrow, Lex Luthor.
Are you going into Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher?
No, I'm just saying the bad guys that we've seen in live action.
Okay.
Ra's al Ghul,
2 versions of Bane.
2 versions of Bane, Poison Ivy.
I'd like them to do
Lex
an
Luthor.
Arkham-esque version of Poison Ivy in a
They'll
movie.
never do that.
They should do that.
They'll never do that.
No more Uma Thurman.
No, they'll never do that. Lex Luthor, Azad. They've done 2 versions of Azad. That's it. We haven't seen anyone else. So to say that you're doing the Legion of Doom for the Justice League movie,
You got a lot to explain.
no, that's a big risk. Never mind who you cast as the Justice League.
Yeah.
That story, if you do that story, that you might as well give up
Yeah.
if that doesn't work. DC might as well give up the movie business if that doesn't work. Because the Avengers didn't bring Thanos automatically into the first Avengers movie.
I don't even think they're bringing him around the second time. Like,
They're bringing it around the 3rd time.
I heard Thanos was almost like they had thought about a Guardians of the Galaxy was when they were going to.
Well, I think that's how they're going to bring it all together in the third Avengers movie.
So, do you think the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to appear in the Avengers
Yes.
too?
No, not 2. They're going to be in 3. But that's what I'm just saying. Big risk.
I've heard a lot of Marvel rumors that I'm excited about, I'm confused about. So Phase 3, let's just go. Phase 3, Iron Man 3.
No, there's no.
Phase 2, I'm sorry. Iron Man 3, Thor 2,
Right.
Captain America 2,
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy,
Right.
Finish with Avengers.
Right.
Phase 3,
Ant-Man,
Ant-Man,
Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Thor 2, Thor 3,
Thor 3, okay. I
and
could do
then-
without another Thor.
and then the Avengers 3.
That's it?
I think that's where I'm going. Do not quote me on that.
That's your prediction,
yes.
your projection for
Yes.
the future.
All right, now we've been almost going for 50 minutes,
Wow.
so I think we should.
But you're
end.
an editor.
I know, but this is
right.
a lot better than when we had a certain guy dressed in blue. All right, so I thank you guys for watching.
And the surprise for today is I was initially going to just draw Arrow, but then we started talking about Batman, and he showed me the trailer, which I had not yet seen, and
So-
I got all excited for
Right, so it's Batman and Green Arrow as the drawing for today, which is amazing as always.
Thank you, sir.
One
more time?
One more time. Oh, all right. So, as always, please follow this guy
Please.
on
ScatteredComics.com. You can always find everything.
Right,
ScatteredComics.com.
right. And I believe they will be at Wizard World this weekend.
Yes.
So stop by their booth.
Kristen Reese. I'm not sure who else is going to be there.
It just
Scattered Comics will be there.
Yes.
Can I show off one more thing that
Okay.
I got from StatCon?
Okay.
2 things, actually.
okay.
Kevin Eastman,
Right,
who I met and is a
Right.
nice guy,
Right.
signed my Ninja Turtles print
right,
right there,
right there.
and my April O'Neil print,
Sign. Oh, there you go.
and said, "These are amazing." He emphasized the M like that.
Right.
Amazing. Nice. Kevin Eastman.
Which that to you is like me with Chris Hardwick going, "Hey, I saw you show her." They're like, "What? Wait, what? What?"
Hardwick is your Eastman?
Kind of.
Nice. So are you like hardcore Hardwick, like
No. I'm just
from that show with Jenny McCarthy back in the day?
oddly enough, my sister used to watch that.
Yeah. What was that? Single Down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just think he's very funny. I think all of them are very funny.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking that if somehow he was to watch this, I'd be like, "Wait a minute, why?
We can get him to watch it.
Why are you wasting your time on this show? First of all, because this has no production value. It's just you and me.
Look at these people in the background.
It's
We
just
got
you.
production value.
No, it's just you and me on a laptop going wherever we have time and wherever it's free. That place.
It wasn't free. This was like $5.
I'm not talking about the coffee. I'm talking about just, But
No permits required.
yeah. Also, you can follow me on at Short Nerdy Guy on all social media. Also, I will be at Wizard World. So
Really?
yes,
Lucky.
I know. And also apologize for last episode because my computer decided to upgrade itself, and so iMovie upgraded itself, and so now every time I try to cut and paste and edit stuff, it puts in segments. So one of our friends messaged me going, "Hey, your show starts over twice." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I watched it at like 6 minutes. It segues back into the beginning.
I wouldn't say segues. It does a hard cut.
Yeah, it goes back to the beginning, and then at 16 minutes, it does the same thing again. But then
the same spot.
But then it goes. It continues.
So if you want to watch it
So
continuously,
first of all, I thank you for whoever saw it and stayed through it. I thank you. So, and again, I'm also going to thank you for watching this episode, and hope you guys have a good day and read more comic books.